Hi guys, I'm Jata65 and today's episode we are going to talk about African traditional marriage. Yes, African traditional marriage is divine and unique and perfectly ordained from the above energy, which is God. Without the blessings of your parents, your marriage is not going to be successful. You are not going to have the fruit of the womb. Why? Because you didn't respect who gave birth to you. Rather, you respected outside person to bless your marriage. Your parents are a blessing to you. That when it's well with you, you come back home. When it's not well with you, you still come back home. So give respect to our tradition if you want to have fruit of the womb. If you want to have joy, peace in your marriage. Marriage is for the matured. Marriage is for the peaceful hearted people. Marriage is divine and that it must be played safely. When you think our traditional marriage is evil and that you are going to the church for your pastor to bless you, a very wise pastor will tell you come from a home. So go back home and perform the needful. And what is the needful? The needful is both families coming together, embracing the union, blessing the union before he or she can bless your marriage. The first blessing is our marriage. And when you do that, even when you do that traditional marriage, it is not important to go and do Western marriage because the moment you go and do Western marriage, they are putting you on a tag whereby you go to court to go and sign blah 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 and blah blah blah. The moment you sign blah 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 and blah blah blah, your marriage becomes a contract. That is why people get married 2 months, 3 months, they go back to the court because of the contract, they know that they succeeded. Then the court will rule against one partner. No, in African tradition, the moment you enter into it, the two of you are one. You cannot go and sign anything. If one wants to divorce, you have to bring all the family back to come and sit down and give reasons. And that makes it so perfect. That is why in the olden days, when our parents get married, it become blessing to us. Marriage is a blessing. Do not ignore our traditional marriage, thinking you have money and that you are above the family. That is why there's a family head. Our ancestors were so wise, and that is why it continues from generation to generation. The youth, don't think you are just having fun with sex. Sex is a powerful energy, and that when you are not ready, do not encounter or indulge or engage yourself into it. All the men or the women that you have sex with will transfer their bad energy or their good energy into you. When you think you want to settle down, oh, now you have everything. That is when those spirits will start fighting you. You might be having miscarriages, your work, everything. You'll be having all sort of bad energies will start fighting you. Do not blame your parents. Do not blame your grandparents back home or back in the village that they are fighting you. No. When you were having those numerous sex, you didn't tell them. So now that those things are haunting you, you need to sit down, analyze yourself, and beg your inner self. This is what you've done. And your inner self will tell you, okay, I'm ready to forgive you, but these are the things you are going to perform, or these are the things, this punishment, you are going to carry this punishment. There are some punishment you endure it to death. There are some punishment is limited. So please know how you indulge yourself in sex because that sperm, that frequency is very, very high. So now, if you want to get married, don't rush. Rather, the two of you with good intention have to seek for a diviner. See a boko, see a high priest, see a shangoma to do a reading to find out if your marriage is going to be successful, if you guys are going to have the fruit of the womb. Even the kids that are coming, are they going to be sick people? All those things must be done first before you come into agreement that you want to get married. And when you go and do all those reading, and it's not on one party side, you can compensate each other and move ahead, because love marriage is eternity. The same way, when you get married, you do all those physical lab tests, but in African traditional marriage, you have to do the spiritual test first before coming together. That is why we seek to do reading to find out if the two of us can stay together. Are we compatible? Can we have fruit of the? Can we give birth? Is our marriage going to be on the peak, or our marriage is going to be broken? All those things we check first before our parent endorses the traditional marriage, and it becomes a perfect marriage. So please do not ignore your parents when you want to get into marriage. No, rather seek for their advice. And I'm telling you, you are going to be a successful man on this planet, a successful woman on this planet. So you don't just see somebody say he's handsome, he's beautiful, and that I'm going to get married. No. Maybe there's some cases on the guy, there's some cases on the woman because of her past lifestyle. So don't just rush into marriage. You understand? Do not just rush into marriage. Otherwise, you say you know, or had I know. And had I know is not always at last. It is because you didn't take the measures. Do a reading on your marriage. Find out if that person is compatible to you. Because when you are compatible, you can do everything together, no matter what, whether you are rich, you are poor, or whatever. Marriage is important. Though you cannot change character, lifestyle in marriage, but it's a blessing. It is a blessing. So do not take African spirituality out of marriage, because first is discipline. Woman, woman, stop roaming about. Stop jumping from one man to one man to one man. If you had sex with 20 men, all their sperms leave a trademark, which you call the DNA, into your womb. Do not think you want to enrich yourself before you get married. All those things you are doing, having sex here and there, not respecting yourself, not respecting society, will go against you when you think you've settled down. And those are the things you are going to fight over it. Life is important. And make sure life is important. Because of that, you only have to find the right partner. Somebody might be rich, having money, but inwardly, he or she doesn't have peace because of her past life. In African spirituality, our tradition, or our traditional marriage, is divine. Our traditional marriage is what God has signed and agreed onto partners. So when you are going to marry and you go to church thinking your pastor is going to bless your marriage and that you are not going to respect parents or your family, I'm telling you, your marriage will break loose, because blessing from parents is till eternity. When you are going to get married and your family doesn't bless you, but you prefer your pastor to bless you, your pastor doesn't know you, because of maybe today you are rich. That is why you think the pastor loves you. No, the love comes from your parents. And when your parent blesses you, you see happiness in your marriage. You see how you have the fruit of the womb. That pastor who is going to lay the hand on you, you might not know if it's rather praying for bad energy or good energy. But your parents will never ever give you bad energy. So make sure that you rather certify traditional marriage than Western marriage. Because the traditional marriage, both families get to embrace each other. Both parties have blessings upon you, especially you, the man. Your father blesses your union because of your same blood lineage. It becomes so peaceful. Do not ignore your parents and say that our traditional marriage is evil and that you are going to the white, or you are going to get married at the church or whatever. Let me tell you, without your parents' blessing, your life or your marriage will never ever be fruitful. Thank you. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, African Ancestral Wisdom, The Hidden Truth. And I'm your humble brother, Jata65.